Howdy! Today is Thursday, October 19th, and I'm coming to you live from my van, sitting outside the veterinary hospital for my pupper, Callie, who may or may not eventually make a appearance because she loves to climb across my chest. Today, I woke up feeling okay, but it was an automatic no bones day because, again, I am a human barometer, and it rained overnight. It rained a lot this morning, and so the weather shift has my brain just not working. It's got my body not working. But unfortunately, when you live with chronic pain and all the other shit that you've got going on up here, you've still got to live. And today I had a pain management appointment scheduled, and my goal was to try and get them to put me on some type of opioid therapy, because I can't live my life like this anymore. And I realized when I had surgery last month for my gallbladder, and they gave me a specific type of painkiller, I felt great. I was able to do everything that I had not been able to do for a very long time. But before I forget, this may get cut off suddenly, since I am sitting outside the vet hospital. They're gonna call me when it's time for Callie's turn to be seen. So anyway, back to the pain management appointment. They said no, and it really kind of pissed me off, and I asked them to fully explain why. And it was a good thing that I actually saw a different physician's assistant today, rather than my normal one, because my normal one just rushes through everything. But this one actually sat with me for almost 30 minutes, answered all my questions, and told me that the reason why they don't want to do opioid therapy right now is because of the class of anxiety meds that I am on. And I asked her, well, what do you mean? What could be the potential side effects? And the run and short of it is that they are in the benzo class along with some of the other meds that I am on, and it runs the risk of making me sleep all the time, and potentially, if I were to take it at night with all of my other meds, it could cause me to go to sleep and not wake up. So I sat with that for a minute, and I was like, oh, okay, I understand. Because especially I realize now that when I was on those meds, I was sleepy all the time. But I could be a normal human being. I was not in any pain whatsoever. And today, when they asked me my pain scale, I flat out told them, I said, does it have to exist today? And she gave me this really weird look, the nurse did. And I was like, ma'am, the chart does not exist today. It is off the charts is how bad my pain is. It is a no bones day. You're lucky I'm here. And she went, oh, okay. And you know, she clickety-clackety on the computer. Pardon me for a second. Side effect of some of my meds is when I talk a lot, I get dry mouth. But anyhow, so then we started talking about physical therapy, and it's been 6 years since we tried that, so they may or may not try to throw me back into physical therapy. She suggested doing more injections into my spine, and I said no. Not only can I not afford the $700 to $800 per injection at the beginning of the year, by the time we get in there and start doing it, they don't work. And she says, well, you've had a couple of radio frequency ablations. And I said, yeah, but they didn't work. And she says, well, what do you mean they didn't work? And I said, if you will go back through my notes right there that Laura has taken, you will see that they're supposed to give me anywhere from 9 to 12 months worth of relief. And she says, yes, they're supposed to. I said, no, my nerves grew back before the end of 4 months. 3 months was the most I got out of any of the RFAs I have had done since 2016. And she was like, oh, okay. And physical therapy didn't work? I said, yeah, it did for a while. But I still do them several times a week, if not daily, that I was given, 7 years ago now. It's not helping. I've got pain in my hip of my right side so bad today that it's making it very difficult to walk. Not to mention it's time for the steroid shots in my knees, and thank God that appointment is next week. And the only thing I was able to do was to convince her to order new MRIs for my back. I said the first pain management doctor I had was doing them every year. I said, and I have not had one since I last saw him. You guys haven't done one at all. So it's been 6 years since I last had an MRI. Can we please at least do that to see what kind of changes have been made to my back? She said yes. So she put in, and please excuse my glasses, I'm also having trouble seeing because on my way here, I smoke. Don't dump my ass, whatever. And a cigarette ash blew into my eyeball, my right eyeball, because I had both windows open, one for me, one for the dog, and she loved the hell out of that. But now the vision over here is more cloudy and blurry than it normally is, and it really freaking hurts. So if you catch me doing this, it's because my eyeball is hurting. So we're going to try and read this imaging order. The diagnosis is lumbar spondylosis without myelopathy or radiculopathy in the lumbar region. So the first order is to do a MRI of the lumbar spine without contrast. And the second order is thoracic spondylosis without myelopathy or radiculopathy in the thoracic region. And that one too is also without contrast. So I gotta wait for a phone call from their scheduling department to get that taken care of. And if I've not heard from them in about a week and a half, call them and schedule myself. And then this morning, Callie over here, Callie, come here, baby, come here, oh, come here, get the butt, oh. Callie here has a little spot on her nose. No, you're not going out the window. Has a little spot on her nose right there that swelled up the other day, and now it's scabbed over, looking worse. And it was bleeding last night and this morning. Plus the dogs, all three of them, and the 2 cats have fleas. So my husband was like, take the dogs to the vet today. I don't think anyone realizes how much energy it takes to drive when you live in the middle of BFE. It's like a 20-minute drive to anywhere in Evansville, which is southeast of our house. Our vet is in Princeton, which is about 25 miles northish of our house. So no matter where we go, it's practically a 30-minute drive. And when you figure in that I woke up with no bones, had to force myself to take a shower, I was in the negative before I even left the house. So somewhere, somehow, I am pulling myself through because I have no choice. I needed to be taken care of. Now my kid needs to be taken care of. I don't have human kids, so I have fur kids. And I will do anything I have to do to take care of my babies. Could I have waited until tomorrow? Possibly. But Trixie is a little aggressive, and I am worried about the scab on her nose. It just randomly appeared earlier this week. We thought at first it was just her nose swollen, but now it is very obviously a scab. So I'm going to get my child taken care of. Oh, you quiet. That was just a kitty cat. Anywho, and I've got a migraine that Excedrin hasn't touched, which tells me another round of rain is coming through at some point within the next 48 hours. People, it is hard when you live with mental illnesses and physical conditions that severely limit the quality of your life. It is so hard to even have a mediocre life. And that's what I feel like I have right now, a mediocre life. I'm not thriving. I'm surviving. And I'm tired of surviving. It's all I've done for 44 fucking years. You know, I had a very traumatic childhood. And I do my darndest to remember the good stuff more than the bad stuff. But, you know, I do have PTSD. And my childhood was out of my hands. But it doesn't mean that I'm not a resentful little twat for it. And I can't talk to my mom anymore, because she died almost 10 years ago. My dad died 20 years ago. Y'all, I cannot express enough how hard it is. And I wish more people would take the time to think before they speak. Try to understand where the person who is having that pain is coming from, and don't minimize it. Don't invalidate it. I cannot tell you how many times I've had people invalidate my feelings, and it makes me angry. And you know, it's even hard to put myself out here on the internet to talk about this stuff. And I've not even touched the tip of the motherfucking iceberg. I honestly have not. And that's what this blog is going to be about, is talking about my life. The past, the present, the future. I'm a resentful little twat about everything. And I'm in therapy. I've been going to therapy for 2 years now. And it's intensive therapy. I go to group therapy once a month, or once a week. And I see my individual therapist every 3 weeks. I'm in a PTSD DBT group. And we're starting to approach the actual trauma work. Am I working on it? No. I'm terrified. I have additional homework to work on separately for core beliefs. Am I working on that? No. And I keep blaming it on, I don't have enough time. There's too much noise in the house. I can't concentrate. But if I'm being honest with myself, it's me being terrified of what's on the other side of the hill. Because I have lived this lifetime of traumatic event stuff, and there's been happiness. Don't get me wrong. I'm not sitting here saying I'm completely miserable, because I'm not. You know, I have a good life. I own my own home. I own my vehicle. I've been married for 22 years, and I have one of the best husbands there is out there. He takes care of me. I don't have to work. You know, I quit working because of the fact that I ended up becoming disabled, but I don't have to work anymore. There was a point when I needed to, but couldn't. Now, even if I could and wanted to, I don't have to. And I'm thankful for that. I have that, and there are people out there who don't. So, I don't know what my point was with that. The ADHD train went phew without me. I've just got so much on my mind and so much on my chest that I could sit here and talk to you for freaking hours. But I think for this moment and this time, I'm going to hang it up, and I might do another video later on today or tomorrow and try to explain more. Make sure that you're liking the video, sharing the video, subscribing, and hitting that little bell so that you'll get a notification every time I post a video. Take care. I love you all.